It's like being surrounded by people, yet feeling completely alone. You smile at the world, but your heart whispers something's missing. Something deeper, something real. Many people on the brink of a spiritual awakening feel like they're losing their mind. The world no longer makes sense the way it used to. Nothing fits. And yet, somewhere deep within, something new is stirring. This moment of disorientation, of unraveling, isn't a breakdown. It's the soul remembering who it is, beyond roles, expectations, and old stories. You see, when the soul begins to awaken, it doesn't send you a polite invitation. It shakes the foundation. It rattles the cage. It invites you to feel everything you've buried. But what if the discomfort you're feeling is sacred? What if the confusion, the fatigue, the emotional waves are not symptoms of something wrong, but signs that something ancient within you is rising? Today, we'll explore 7 spiritual symptoms that may seem confusing, even painful, but are actually signs that you're a chosen one undergoing a deep inner transformation. Symptom 1. Time feels warped. One of the first things you may notice during a spiritual awakening is that time starts to feel strange. Not wrong, just different. You glance at the clock, and somehow 3 hours have passed, even though it felt like 5 minutes. Or maybe the opposite happens. A single minute stretches into forever. You begin to feel unstuck from the rhythm everyone else seems to follow. Meetings, calendars, deadlines, they all start to lose their grip on you. Days blur together, past, present, future. They don't arrive in neat, ordered lines anymore. Memories bleed into visions. Dreams feel more real than what's happening outside your window. Time becomes less like a ruler and more like water, flowing, bending, shimmering with layers you never noticed before. And while your logical mind may panic, trying to hold the old structure in place, your soul gently smiles, knowing this is exactly what's supposed to happen. Time, linear, rigid, unyielding, was always an illusion, a tool for the mind. But when the soul stirs awake, the grip of time loosens. You see, awakening doesn't just shift your beliefs, it alters your perception. It's not just spiritual, it's cellular. Even your relationship with time is rewritten. Sarah, a 35-year-old woman working in marketing, started noticing this shift. She'd sit at her desk, look up, and realize hours had passed while she was lost in thought. Other days, she'd be in a meeting that lasted 15 minutes, but to her, it felt like an eternity. It used to scare her. She thought she was distracted or unwell. But then something clicked. She realized that she was starting to live from presence, not from pressure. Her awareness was shifting from the clock to the current. And it dawned on her, when she was truly present, she no longer needed time to measure her life. She was feeling her life, moment by moment. So let me ask you this, have you noticed that the more present you become, the less important the clock seems to be? That's not dysfunction. That's not detachment. That's presence. You're not broken. You're waking up to timelessness. Symptom 2. Your body is rejecting the old. There comes a moment, quiet, strange, often overlooked, when your body begins to whisper what your soul already knows. You feel tired, but not from lack of sleep. It's deeper than that. A fatigue that stretches beyond the muscles and into the soul. You crave things you never wanted, or can't stomach what you used to love. One day coffee feels like poison. The next silence feels like salvation. Some mornings, the sound of your alarm feels unbearable. Some nights, scrolling your phone feels like dragging your spirit through gravel. And you wonder, what's wrong with me? Why can't I handle what I used to? Why does the world feel so loud, so fast, so harsh? But what if nothing's wrong? What if your body isn't failing, but finally being heard? Spiritually, something profound is unfolding. Your body, this sacred vessel, is no longer willing to carry what no longer serves you. It's not just detox from food, it's detox from the noise, the hustle, the old pace of your life. Your cells are realigning with truth. The body isn't malfunctioning. It's not broken. It's shedding the density, the old programs, the weight of past patterns, so it can hold more light. Sarah felt this shift too. One morning, she made her usual cup of coffee, and after a single sip, her whole body tensed. It no longer felt like comfort, it felt like conflict. Loud music gave her headaches. Scrolling through endless posts made her feel hollow. It wasn't that the world had changed. It was her alignment that had shifted. Her body began saying no to the noise and yes to stillness. She found herself craving morning light instead of caffeine, silence instead of stimulation. She stopped fighting it. She listened, and in that surrender, her body became a compass, not an enemy. So I ask you gently, what if your body is not betraying you, but trying to guide you toward a gentler life? You are not falling apart. You are being rebuilt, and the blueprint is softer, wiser, more luminous than ever before. You're not decaying, you're upgrading. Symptom 3. You lose interest in things you once loved. There's a quiet kind of sadness that no one really warns you about. The moment when the things that once lit you up just don't anymore. You used to feel alive chasing certain dreams, but lately they feel empty. You go through the motions, but the spark is gone. Food tastes the same. Your favorite music sounds distant. The routines that once gave you purpose now feel mechanical, almost pointless. And maybe that scares you a little. You wonder if something's wrong. You ask yourself, why do I feel so numb? But what if the emptiness is not a sign of failure, but a sacred pause, clearing out, a spiritual renovation? You see, when the soul begins to awaken, it also begins to sort. And what no longer fits, no longer feeds your spirit, starts to fall away. It's not that you've lost yourself. It's that you're finding a version of you that no longer fits into the old mold. Sarah knew this feeling too. She used to thrive at her job. Tight deadlines, constant buzz, being busy all the time. It gave her a sense of worth. But one morning, she sat in front of her screen and just stared. Not tired, not lazy, just still. And something inside her whispered, "Why am I doing this?" That question haunted her. Not because she had no answers, but because she knew the old answers didn't fit anymore. She wasn't bored. She was being emptied, cleared, prepared for something she hadn't yet seen, but could already feel. So I ask you, gently, sincerely, are you really bored? Or is your soul quietly preparing you for something deeper? Sometimes we think we're losing interest in life, when in truth we're being pulled toward a more honest life, a more soul-aligned life. So if you find yourself feeling disconnected from what used to excite you, don't rush to fill the void. Don't panic. Don't shame yourself. Just listen. That silence you feel inside might be the sacred space where truth is about to bloom. You're not broken. You're not lost. You're in the sacred in-between, the space between shedding and becoming. Because sometimes losing passion is not the end. It's the soul's way of whispering, make room for what's real. Symptom 4. Emotional turmoil. There are days when emotions surge without warning. Tears well up, irritation flares, or a deep sadness envelopes you, all without a clear cause. It's as if your heart has become a vessel, overflowing with feelings you've long suppressed or forgotten. These unexpected emotional waves might make you question your stability, fearing that you're unraveling. But consider this, what if these emotions are not signs of breakdown, but breakthroughs? Your soul's way of cleansing itself? Spiritually, this is known as an emotional detox, a necessary release of repressed energies to make space for healing. Sarah experienced this one evening when a simple falling leaf triggered an overwhelming release of tears. It wasn't about the leaf. It was the culmination of all she'd been holding in, finally finding an outlet. In that moment, she realized that her breakdown was, in fact, a breakthrough, a necessary step in her spiritual awakening. So, ask yourself, what if your emotional turmoil is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of profound inner transformation? Embrace these emotions. Allow them to flow through you, cleansing and renewing your spirit. Remember, you're not weak. You're healing. Let the emotions come and let them go, trusting in the process. In this journey, every tear shed is a step closer to your true self, a self unburdened by past pains. Trust that this emotional upheaval is a sacred part of your awakening, guiding you toward wholeness. You're not alone in this. Many have walked this path and emerged stronger, more aligned with their true essence. Let your emotions be your guide, leading you to a deeper understanding and connection with your soul. In the end, these emotional waves are not obstacles but gateways to a more authentic, enlightened you. Symptom 5. Relationships begin to fall apart. Sometimes you begin to notice that the people you once felt connected to, friends, partners, coworkers, they no longer resonate with your inner world. Conversations that used to flow naturally now feel forced, like you're speaking different languages, though the words are the same. The laughter you once shared turns hollow, and a quiet loneliness begins to settle in, making you question where you truly belong. This sense of disconnection is not a punishment or rejection. It's the natural result of your vibration rising, shifting you into new frequencies. Old relationships and patterns can no longer hold the energy you now carry, so they begin to dissolve like mist in the morning sun. Sarah found herself stepping away from her old friend group, no longer drawn to gossip, drinking, or endless complaining. She simply outgrew that chapter of life. It might feel like loss, but ask yourself gently, are the people leaving your life, or are you simply outgrowing old versions of yourself? This realignment, though painful at times, is a sacred clearing, making space for relationships that truly nourish your soul. Letting go doesn't mean you've failed or been abandoned. It means you're evolving, and some chapters must close so new, richer ones can begin. When you release with love and gratitude, you honor the growth both you and others have experienced on your shared journey. Trust that the universe is guiding you toward connections that match your highest vibration, where authenticity and love flow effortlessly. In this sacred space of realignment, you learn the profound truth that sometimes the deepest love is found in the courage to walk alone. Embrace this transformation with kindness toward yourself and others, knowing that every ending is also a new beginning. Symptom 6. Strange synchronicities or signs. There comes a time when the ordinary patterns of your life begin to feel touched by something extraordinary, like the universe is softly whispering secrets just for you. You might start noticing the same numbers repeating everywhere, on clocks, license plates, receipts, as if time itself is trying to catch your attention. Dreams repeat themselves with strange clarity, and symbols, feathers, butterflies, or even colors, appear in the most unexpected places. These aren't coincidences. They are the universe's language, speaking to you in signs and symbols when words simply cannot convey the depth of the message. Sarah laughed at first, thinking it was just chance when she saw feathers on her doorstep, butterflies in the garden, and those recurring numbers flashing before her eyes. But over time, she realized these little nudges weren't random. They were gentle reminders that she's not walking this path alone. So, pause for a moment and ask yourself, have you ever dismissed signs meant to comfort you, simply because they felt too strange to believe? These signs are not figments of your imagination or tricks of your mind. They are sacred invitations, guiding you closer to your truth, your path, your awakening. Trust that every feather, every number, every mysterious symbol you encounter is a loving whisper from the universe, nudging you to look deeper and listen more carefully. When you open your heart to these signs, you begin to feel the subtle but powerful presence of something greater than yourself. A presence that gently walks beside you. This sacred dance between you and the universe is a reminder that even in moments of uncertainty, you are supported, seen, and deeply loved. Allow yourself to be curious and open, knowing that these synchronicities are invitations to awaken your inner knowing and deepen your connection to the world beyond the visible. So when the world feels confusing and signs appear out of nowhere, welcome them with open arms. They are the universe's gentle way of saying, you are not alone. Symptom 7. Everything seems to be falling apart. Sometimes, it feels as if the very foundation of your life is shaking beneath your feet. Jobs lost, relationships ending, plans dissolving into uncertainty, and confusion wrapping around your heart like a thick fog. You watch everything you built, everything you held on to, slowly falling apart, and it can seem like the whole world is collapsing just for you. But underneath all this apparent chaos, there is a deeper truth unfolding, one that the ego cannot always understand. The ego, with all its stories and attachments, is quietly being dismantled piece by piece, so that the pure essence of who you truly are can begin to shine through. Destruction in this sacred sense is not an end. It is a clearing, a sacred space made by the falling away of the old, so that new life can root itself firmly in fresh soil. Sarah's story reflects this beautiful truth. She leaves her job, her lease expires, and there she is, alone in her car, tears falling quietly, feeling hollow and lost in the stillness of that moment. But it is precisely from this emptiness, from this painful unraveling, that the seeds of something new, something more aligned with her soul, begin to grow silently, unseen at first but unstoppable in time. It invites you to ask gently, what if everything that seems to be falling apart is not your life breaking, but your soul falling deeply into its true place? What if the disarray, the endings, the confusion, are simply the universe's way of lovingly shaking you awake to the reality that your real life is waiting on the other side of the storm? This moment of dismantling is not the end of your story. It is the sacred beginning of your most authentic self emerging from the ashes of old illusions. So if you feel like everything is falling apart, remember, this is not your destruction, but your rebirth. The birthing of a new you, one who is freer, wiser, and more alive than ever before. Hold this truth close, breathe it into your heart, and know that in the stillness after the storm, you will find yourself whole again, but transformed, reborn in the light of your own awakening. If you've been sensing any of these 7 signs stirring inside you, those moments when your body feels different, your emotions feel untethered, your interests fade, or even when life seems to unravel, please know this: you are not losing your mind. You are waking up. This process is the sacred shedding of what no longer serves you, so that your truest self can finally breathe freely, without mask or restraint. You are not trapped in chaos or broken by change. Instead, you are aligning deeper and deeper with your soul's own rhythm, stepping into a new harmony where your spirit feels heard and honored. This is not falling behind in life. It is falling into the purest kind of alignment. When the world around you seems to be breaking apart, remember, you are not broken. You are breaking free from old stories, old limitations, and old pain that kept you small. This freedom is the birthright of every soul ready to reclaim its light. If any of these signs resonate with your journey, I invite you to share your story in the comments below. Your experience might be exactly the comfort and hope someone else is searching for right now. A reminder that none of us are truly alone in this awakening. And if you feel called to keep walking this path of awakening together, step by step, breath by breath, insight by insight, please subscribe. Let us grow as a community that holds space for transformation, understanding, and love, moving forward in kindness and quiet strength.